Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description. From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissell.
Hey everybody, that's Gary.
And that's Keith.
Welcome to Pop Culture Minefield.
So, I have nothing to add. So, Monday, Monday's not important, but Tuesday we talked about all Marvel, MCU stuff. And then yesterday we talked about random stuff. It's our general rant day where we just talk about stuff.
Yeah, starting out with John Wayne.
Today is our Star Trek day. But before we get into it, I want to mention something just in passing. And I'm going to read this. TheVintageNews.com reports on June 25th of 2022, hardcore fans for the cult classic film The Thing, that's John Carpenter's The Thing, not the 2011 prequel, whatever they want to call that.
Yeah.
They're going to be gathering at Frigid Outpost 31, the actual shooting location, to celebrate the film's 40th anniversary. And of course, this is not far from the Alaskan Panhandle in Stewart, British Columbia, which gets an average snowfall of 73 inches a year. And that's why they shot there, because they wanted that Arctic feel.
Yeah.
So people are going to be going there, fans. And others have gone there. There's a really nice documentary about the location. And they found like a helicopter blade. They found all sorts of stuff. So this is going to be cool. And after that, let's get to Star Trek, because he's got some interesting stuff to talk about. Specifically, Susan. In fact, you know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
Let's get Susan on here first. Susan?
Hey, thanks, Gerry and Keith. Hi, everybody. I'm Susan Layton, and welcome to NERDSDAY. This week, I want to talk to you about the Orville. So for any of you that remember me on Nerdrotic with Gary, you know that I'm a huge fan of the show. And recently, I was fortunate enough to actually interview two of the visual effects supervisors from Pixamondo. And they're the team behind making the Orville come to life each and every week. In the season finale, they were responsible for the Orville coming out of the Marianas Trench, which was just incredible. And it opened my eyes to the immense talent behind a show of this type. I knew there were a lot of moving parts and a lot of people involved, but I didn't really know the extent of it. And now I can fully appreciate how wonderful this show is. First and foremost, let's talk about the writing. The writing is top-notch. Each and every week, we had drama, we had comedy, we had straight-up science fiction, all wrapped together in one nice little package. And even though it's in the spirit of Roddenberry's Star Trek, the original series, we're not getting hit over the head with messages. Messages are actually within the storyline, just like Gene Roddenberry used to do, because on the original series, every episode was like a little morality play. But we never noticed it because we weren't being hit over the head. We were being entertained. And that's another reason why I love the Orville, is because it's entertaining. You can laugh, you can cry, and you love that cast. You want to see Gordon find the girl of his dreams. You secretly want to see Ed and Kelly get back together again, even though that could be a show killer. But the point is these people come into your home each and every week, and it's just a delightful show. Unfortunately, it hasn't received any word as of yet whether or not it'll be renewed for season 3. Now, Chad Coleman, who is one of the cast members, He actually said in an interview they're fairly confident that they will get a season 3. However, fans should take to social media and let Fox know that they want this show on the air in season 3. And unfortunately, that's where we are now. I mean, fans should not have to work this hard to keep quality programming on the air. But at this point, we need to go to social media. And it's very easy and it's simple. It takes one tweet a day, or if you want to, get your friends together that love the show as much as you do. Pick a specific day of the month and just have what I call a social media blast campaign, where whatever platform you're on, if you're on Facebook, you tag Fox and the Orville. If you're on Instagram and Twitter, you hashtag Renew the Orville and you @ Fox or hashtag them. Either way, it's time to let the network know that the show needs a season 3, because it's very critical. Actually, in addition to getting the ratings, the producers get what's known as social content ratings as well. This is the social media buzz that's generated around their shows. They get those in addition to the Nielsen's. Social media is important as much as we don't want it to be, because it's built into the budget on these productions. And like I said, ratings are attached to it. So if you love the show, get out there. It's just one tweet a day, and let Fox know how much you want to have it on the air next year. I mean, there's some people that are really inventive. Kudos to them. They're sending jars of pickles. I mean, who would have thought? But hey, it worked for Veronica Mars. The network got Mars bars. And Roswell, when they were in danger of being canceled, the fans sent Tabasco sauce. I'm not saying to rush right out to Costco and get a jar of pickles, but at this point, get creative with it, because this show is one of the best on television, and it's consistently entertaining. Hey everybody, thanks so much. Remember to renew the Orville, and I'll see you next week. Back to you, Gerry and Keith.
Oh, sorry, we're already back. So, thanks, Susan. That was awesome. And what's going on with CBS is
Global. They have a new global franchise group that's meant to basically get the word out about Star Trek outside of the continental United States.
You know how you do that? You put out a good show that everybody talks about.
Ouch!
Doing this kind of marketing, it's not going to work. It's going to fail. It's going to blow up in their face. It's bad marketing. This is just not smart. They're so freaking ridiculous over at CBS. And when I say CBS, once again, I'm actually saying Viacom. Viacom was the conglomerate that owned Star Trek for years. And they are trying to, and he'll tell you right now, they're trying to beat up Paramount. This is all about abusing Paramount. The whole goal that Sherry Redstone has is to try to bring everything back together again.
Because different companies are participating as we speak in the streaming wars. If you are a media provider, if you are someone who, if you are a company that is entertaining people and bringing stuff to them, if you are not currently with a streaming service, or you don't currently have a streaming service, you better get one before November, because once November hits, nobody's going to basically have any money to pay towards you.
To change the landscape of cable television.
Yeah.
It's because Sling TV is even going to get hurt by this. Oh. It's just very simple, man. They're trying to privatize your entertainment, how you get it. And we've been begging for something like this for decades. I've said, I don't want to buy your packages, cable company. I don't want this channel. Yeah. I don't want that channel. I want to just watch what I like to watch, and I only want to pay for that. Now, it's more expensive in the long run when you think about it, but we actually are getting what we asked for. The ability to watch the channels and the shows that you want to watch.
Yeah.
You have absolutely far more control.
Yes.
And if they go through Amazon, which is a potential, because this is the smart thing Amazon did, is they allow you to purchase those, I keep wanting to say application, but an account with these services through Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon gets a little piece of the pie. And then you're streaming it all through one. So Amazon replaces the cable networks.
Yeah.
Mediacom is what I'm talking about. Mediacom and Cox Cable, all the different cable companies are going to be a thing of the past. This is going to change the landscape. And if they don't see this, the cable companies, they're blind to their own destruction.
Yeah.
They're going to go out the way of the dodo.
Yeah. And again, this is happening as we speak. When I say November, I mean November of this year, because that's when Disney Plus launches. And Disney Plus, the way it's set up, along with its price, is basically going to take a lot of the goods and services out there right now and either force them to change the way they do things or sit by and relax as their company, and their employees find other things to do.
Because even Netflix, they're upping their price.
Yeah, they have to.
And Disney's dropping it. They're already under the price that hasn't even gone up yet for Netflix.
Yes.
And they're offering so much more. And
CBS All Access. See, I'm not trying to really dog those guys. I'm just saying use logic.
I like what Netflix puts out most of the time, even though I don't subscribe anymore because they canceled Daredevil. But the fact is they do have some good quality stuff. They got a lot of shit on there too. But the fact is they're not. I mean, it's sort of like, there's gold in this turd. I got to pick out the gold from this turd. It's real gold. So it's worth digging in the turd, but it is a turd. It's still a turd that you're digging into. Netflix has a lot of turd.
Yeah. And having dealt with CBS All Access, they know the truth. They know the truth about their ratings as far as how people outside of the United States view their programming, especially shows like, I don't know, let me just pick one randomly out of a hat, Star Trek Discovery. For a show that is it is the most expensive Star Trek series ever. You cannot have that series not doing well. So I totally expect that they're gonna. They're
going to expose CBS, and CBS is going to be trying to save the day with this stupid idea of starting this new thing.
Yeah.
What's called CBS
franchise media. It's a media blitz to actually.
That's all it is. It's a whole new marketing department for Viacom.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
To promote Star Trek outside of the United States. And the thing is, if the Star Trek you're currently making were any good, you really wouldn't need that.
To do that, because it's already been exposed. So it obviously, clearly, by you doing this, you're admitting that your show sucks. But they have something that doesn't suck, which would be a great idea, which is the Pike's Buck #1 spin-off series from Discovery.
Yeah, as long as they don't hire any of the Discovery writers that they currently employ.
Just the worst writers. Get real science fiction writers. I was complaining about this with the other thing CBS does, The Twilight Zone. Mm-hmm. They only have 2 really good episodes this season. And they brought on a guy from the X-Files.
Yes.
And those 2 episodes were good.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are just kind of chunky and just really clunky and not very well told.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, they got a second season. But the only reason they got a second season is the same reason why Discovery got its second season, because they don't have anything else.
Yeah.
So they're trying. They are in their death throes. CBS is in trouble, and for those of you who love CBS and everything they're putting out, you're going to be very disappointed at the end of this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. All that stuff that you love, that's crap. I'm not saying you have shit for taste, but you have shit for taste, and it's going to end for you badly for CBS. And Disney's going to knock them out of the water. Netflix is going to partake in it they're going to expose them for their numbers. So what else we got on that?
Ultimately, one last thing. With Star Trek was doing well before all of this happened with Discovery. You didn't need to establish any type of a group to brand it better to sell to people outside of the United States.
Yeah, the last good Star Trek was Enterprise in 2005. Had great ratings.
Yeah.
They canceled it because, well, what's his name's a dick.
Les Moonves.
Les Moonves. Goodbye, Les Moonves. Don't forget the ride. He just was an asshole. And he canceled at the top of the ratings. Canceled it. And that was the last good Star Trek we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were saying something about the Kurtzman films, too.
Yeah, again, my big pet peeve with Alex Kurtzman is the fact that he keeps talking about how, there are all these things that were in Star Trek that were more hindrances than help in trying to create anything within the Star Trek universe. And my reply to that is, look, the thing about J.J. Abrams and the 2009 movie that I let slide and found kind of interesting was the fact that it was supposed to be a alternate universe, and under that you can do pretty much anything you want. For Kirkman to come along and take over what initially started out being a proper Star Trek series that would have fit closely with all of the different television.
Yeah, because the original design and all of that was supposed to be a really good Star Trek show, and it sounded like it.
Yeah.
And then Kurtzman stepped in, and he just, I don't know, I think it's his favorite pastime is shitting in other people's salads. And he shit in our salad. Yeah. The fan salad. Because he doesn't like Star Trek. And people go, well, you prove that. Tell him.
Yeah, he doesn't like Star Trek.
Yeah, but you were brought up, where he said it. Was in the commentary.
Yeah, it was the commentary of the 2009 Star Trek film. If you own a copy of the 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek film, he says it. He's very out there with what he does. So for him to come back years later and take over Discovery and do all the stuff that he's been doing with the television series really makes no sense if you're trying to support the idea that this would be a part of something like that.
But he did not have a love. And of course, JJ, God love him. Oh, God bless that boy. JJ was not a Star Trek fan. So you get that because he loved Star Wars. So he tried to Star Wars Star Trek, and it didn't work. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 2009 movie had its points that were good.
Yes.
I enjoyed aspects of it, especially the casting.
Yeah.
Great casting. And Chris Pine I loved him as Kirk. But, then what's the next one called? Into Darkness was just clunky as hell.
Yeah, it was.
And killing Pike was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And
then you make your way all the way around to Star Trek Beyond, which, again, it was a good movie. One of my pet peeves is, as we were saying earlier, it's those trailers, man. You keep putting
Gave
stuff.
up way too much money. They should have taken out the motorcycle. The motorcycle was dumb. That was just dumb. I'm sorry. Every time I see that scene, I'm like, why do they have a motorcycle? It's just dumb. I mean, I get it. He likes motorcycles of the future. He should have had a future motorcycle, not a BMX style, or not BMX, but motocross.
Yeah.
But I was this is dumb. And they wanted, what's his name? Justin Lin, is that his name?
Yeah.
The director. He, Fast and Furious. He likes those things. Scotty falling off the cliff, almost getting killed. He likes those moments, and he loves the vehicles. And so he threw his little Fast and Furious stuff in there, and fans still liked the film. They did. Yeah. But it had so many problems, and worse than that, it had the baggage brought over by Into Darkness, and that killed the franchise.
Yeah.
And then of course we've talked about it before ad nauseum. Money. People that had money in it were pulling their money out, and so then CBS, or was it Paramount?
No, it was
CBS.
Yeah.
CBS tried to get the actors, Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth, to go for less money. And it's like, we're not going to renegotiate. No, we've built a star. We've built your franchise. Get us the money you promised us. And I commend them. Stand up to CBS and say no. So
CBS just can't help itself. And again, I've said it. I think you are kind of the same mind. But after November, after Disney Plus comes out, you're going to start seeing several services that are just going to have to close up shop. And I think one of the first one, if not the very, very first one, is going to be Regal. They refuse to treat this as anything other than, I don't know, a fluke. I can't.
You're talking about the theater chain?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, not the theater chain, but I mean,
Which Regal are you talking about?
I misspoke. What I should say is, CBS continues to treat this as sort of like a non-thing thing.
Got you. CBS, not Regal.
Yeah, not Regal. I had Regal in the brain. But I mean, CBS continues to treat this as something that they can just sort of like stand off to the side and sort of rise above. There is no rising above this. This is happening. And the CBS All Access app, that's really all CBS really has. Now, if you notice, it's everything in the CBS vaults. But how does that compare to, say, having access to film and television stuff as opposed to just television? And that's the reason why, I said, I think the CBS All Access app is either going to have to change, or it's going to be a victim, one of the first victims to fall before Disney. Because, as you've said before, people have a limited amount of resources and money to be able to spend on having these channels.
And each one of these, services is going to cost some money.
Yeah.
So people don't want to increase their cable bill; they want to decrease that cable bill. So Disney coming out of at $7 or $6.
Yeah, $6.99.
$6.99. Wow, that is really smart. And Netflix, dumb. I think they'll survive. I think Netflix will survive, but they're in trouble too. Don't kid yourself. They are would you say billions in debt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they borrowed $8 billion, and then the following year, which was last year, they ended up borrowing an additional $12 million.
And some of that went into Star Trek Discovery, a deal that they regret to this day. Which is why they have a grudge with CBS. And that's why when the numbers come out, if they do come out, it'll be coming from Netflix. Don't think it's anybody else. It's Netflix kicking them in the junk for pulling that shit with them. Spending all that money before they shot the entire series. All the money was spent. And it's like, we need to come back for some more money. It's like, no, we gave you the money to shoot the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can spend it on other stuff. They're like that annoying kid that you give them $25 to go pay for something, and then they come back and go, well, I got a burger and some other stuff. I need that money again to go pay that bill. No. You need to be responsible, CBS. Stop being a shitty kid.
Look, and all Sherry Redstone, as you were saying earlier, is trying to bring everything back together to help create a service that you'd be happy to pay for. I mean, think of it this way. If you take CBS All Access and then add to it the entire Paramount library.
Their entire catalog, man. The only things they don't have is Indiana Jones, really. They have a certain limited amount of rights to that.
Yeah. And look at it this way. Many people, including myself, did forget this. But back in 2008, one of the things that Paramount actually had was the Iron Man movies.
Yeah, I forgot about that. When he said it, I'm like, oh my God, that's right. They did.
Iron Man and Captain America films initially started out as Paramount movies, and the very first Avengers movie was released through Paramount, which meant that both that Avengers film in 2012 and then the following year...
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Indiana Jones. They have a limited amount of rights to them. So
and they've lost all of that.
Why CBS is launching this new marketing thing, and like, this is going to make Star Trek better. No, make better Star Treks makes Star Trek better.
That's it. That's
very simple. It's like the science that Adam uses on Adam Ruins Everything. He decides what his conclusion is and then works his way back from it. That's not how you do science. And that's not how you do business with CBS. CBS does everything ass backwards. And this launching of this thing's not going to do anything. It's not going to make Discovery successful. And again, I'm going to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
They got greenlit for season 3. And season 2 has already been greenlit for Twilight Zone, but that doesn't mean the shows are going to get made.
Yeah.
And proof of that, again, go to Sci-Fi Channel and see what got greenlit recently this year and is already gone. It's never coming back, is Winona Earp.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never see that show again on Sci-Fi. Got greenlit? Yeah, guys, go ahead. Good luck finding some money to make that with. And
now,
there you go.
CBS does have money. I mean, the whole thing about them breaking everything into 2 pieces, with Paramount going one way and the rest of Viacom, now known as CBS Incorporated, going the other way, they definitely have the money to continue to do what they do, but it has no basis in reality, and it has no basis in
it was
logic.
so poorly conceived from the get-go, and Les Moonves is a shrewd business guy, and he was part of the planning of this, of not just splitting it up, but making to where neither Paramount nor CBS could make a true Star Trek movie or show.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
It can't be canon.
Yeah, none of it.
And all you idiots out there that keep wanting to argue, no, what do they call it? What is CBS's phrasing they use for canon, but it's not canon?
Yeah, Prime.
Prime. When Prime is canon. No, it is not. They were very specific in their language. There's a sci-fi writer that tried to correct me one day, and he's a Star Trek writer. And I went, no, you're completely, no, your facts are completely wrong. You're a good writer, but you are terrible with your facts. No, that is not correct. CBS and Paramount split and told each the other, you can't make anything actually related to the previous iterations of Star Trek.
Yeah.
You cannot have it. Now, Picard, this is that gray area. It's like, we don't know what's going to happen here. Are they going to break their own rule?
You know what?
My hope was that Sherry Redstone was secretly behind some of this, but I'm starting to doubt that with this stupid launch of this marketing thing.
Yeah, that does not sound like...
That is not smart. That's not good business.
I mean, what should happen is everybody wants to make money, especially National Amusements, which is the company that actually owns Viacom, which means they own everything as far as Paramount and CBS Incorporated are concerned. They want to make money. They want to do what AT&T is doing right now with Warner Brothers, which is just getting rid of anything that's costing them too much money and
pulling it back in.
Yeah.
And right now, CBS All Access has hemorrhaged money. Look up the word hemorrhage. I meant that word. It's hemorrhaging money. It has not made a damn dime off of anything it's done. Twilight Zone, Star Trek, any of the new shows. I mean, they could have launched Magnum PI, done a better job with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are parts of it I did like.
Yes.
The casting in particular, despite the kid that plays Magnum not being right for the part, I like him as a person.
Yeah, but it's all limited to all their television properties. Remember, if this were a whole thing, you would have not just television properties, you'd have film properties.
Well, remember when CBS Studios used to make movies?
Yeah.
Little independent films. Tommy Lee Jones was in one back in the 80s that I loved.
Yeah.
I mean, right up there with HBO Pictures. They would put out these nice little indie films. CBS Studios used to do that.
Yeah. Back
when CBS Studios wasn't Viacom. Viacom is this soulless thing that just... I don't know what it's good at spending money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't create anything with any anima. Look that word up. Haha, I bet you guys don't know what that word is.
There will be a test next week.
Yes. Study. It'll all be about Carl Jung. And we're going to be talking about Jungian theory and dealing with synchronicity, and then we might have an episode testing about causality.
The thing is that Viacom right now is exposed, and because of what CBS is trying to do, the most immediate thing that I can actually predict that'll happen is that it's going to have a really bad effect on both halves. So with CBS being limited into what they can do,
Yeah, exactly.
and Paramount hemorrhaging money, this does not speak well, because I'm telling you right now, there are some money people that are scouting locations and doing things right now in Hollywood, and it's pretty much the Chinese.
We know the Chinese want, because I knew where you're going with that. It's like the Chinese want to buy something.
Yeah.
They want one of the major networks or studios. And this is something they're just hungry for. They are the sharks, and there's blood in the water. I'm telling you. What was the other one? Comcast.
Yeah.
They want to spend some money. They want to own something. So CBS is in trouble. Netflix is really close to being in trouble. Borrowing is because they just bought that $100 million studio. Because the problem with them, as you brought up last time, was that they don't really make their own things. So buying the studio is them saying, "Oh, we're going to start making our own things." Well, the thing is, though, you're already $8 billion in debt, or over $8 billion.
Yeah.
Because I think it's closer to $12 billion now. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
You know, how are you going to get that back? Because it's all theoretical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how are you going to get that money back? So I don't know.
Outside of just raising rates, but again, you're doing that.
And you know that's why, because I meant to say that before, that's why they're raising your rates, is they're trying to compensate and cover for some of their loss.
And this is in the shadow, in the face of what Disney's just sitting there. They're watching all of this chaos.
And Disney is still raking in the bucks, despite what Kathleen Kennedy did with Star Wars. I mean, yeah, she really hurt the brand. But the fact is, Disney's not losing money. Marvel is making money for them hand over fist. Disney movies are making it. Pixar. I let fist bump on that one. We said it at the same time. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
But also the Vault material that they have. They are making all of this, and The Simpsons. 30 years worth of The Simpsons.
Oh, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say anything about that to me. I missed that.
Yeah. The Simpsons will be available day one. Now, from what I've heard, there's still the original FX deal, which allows them to have access to The Simpsons like for decades. But the thing is that Simpsons, all seasons will be available day one on Disney Plus.
So did you hear anything about the ongoing thing? Because there was this concern from the folks at The Simpsons that Disney hadn't communicated with them yet. So have they communicated with them?
I have not heard, but look.
They've got to talk to them.
They've got to talk to them.
They're one of the biggest franchises on the Fox network.
Well, yeah, as I keep pointing out, we've yet to hear any updates on what Disney's going to do with Die Hard. We've heard vague things about Alien. Heard nothing about Predator.
Yeah, the talk is that Alien's going to go forward.
Yeah.
We're going to get another Alien film.
And again, the big thing is Joss Whedon.
What's his name's Alien 2 was in the news. The South African director.
Oh, yeah. Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah. I got excited about that.
Yes.
Because I've wanted to see that for a while.
Yeah.
Because he's bringing Hicks back and
Ripley.
Sigourney Ripley.
But here's my other thing. Disney now owns all of Mutant Enemy, which means all of the Mutant Enemy related television shows that they've created, okay, which is the entire Buffyverse along with Firefly. And they've not said anything. They own it. They haven't said anything. This is why Disney plays the long game. Okay? And they're good at it now. Everybody else, and again, I'm looking at you, CBS, because you're really the one that's holding your own self up.
Yeah, CBS is I picture this in my head, because I think in metaphors of this person knowing there's sharks in the water, going, I think maybe my blood will repel them. I'll just keep stabbing myself to repel the sharks. That's CBS. And that's how I see that as being how stupid they are.
I'm hoping that it won't take Paramount getting bought out from underneath them for them to realize.
That's the reality of what could be happening here. Because, like we said, Comcast in China absolutely want to own something. And
the Chinese get their hands on Paramount, which ultimately will get you into a gray area legally with Star Trek. But I'm telling you, this is not going to be pretty. And you're not going to want to see what happens.
And no
next.
Star Trek fans are going to be happy. None of them. Because this will not bode well for Star Trek fans. So, CBS, this message is to you. Please, get your head out of your ass.
You want to you want to go back to the way things were in 2005 when the whole company was making money hand over fist. Right now, what you're doing is it's very self-serving, and you decided to screw. Look, here's the other thing. Eventually, you know that the shareholders are going to get involved. And when that happens, you know some people are going to be losing their jobs.
Yep. As the Muppets would say, yep.
So rather than go through all that, get your head out your ass, get with the program, allow Sherry Redstone to recombine the company so that you guys can start getting prepared for November. Because I'm telling you, as every hour, every day, every week passes, the closer you get to November, that just means that you're not going to be getting any money from mom and pop America out there when they start looking at all these goods and services.
All their money's going to go into Disney.
Disney
and Netflix. And Hulu, because Disney's smart, and they're putting some of their stuff over on Hulu, because Hulu's been shit for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And they're finally getting some good stuff we're hearing over on Hulu. So Hulu, their subscription is going to be going back up. So there's 3 right there, subscription services, that are going to do well.
Yeah.
And it won't be CBS the way they're going. Right now, if they continue down this avenue, they will fail. That's my prediction. I'm sure it's your prediction too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. Susan, thank you for putting your 2 cents in on this. I mean, we talk privately about it anyway. It's always nice to see her do her own little thing. We're eventually going to get her somehow integrated in with us.
Yes.
But I like giving her own little segment. So once again, this
Happy
is
Nerds Day.
Oh, light just shut off. That's it. Anyway, smash the like button. Thank you, Susan, for doing a great episode. I want to thank everybody. Our light went out in the studio because power went off on it. It's battery operated. It's not DC. So this is Keith.
That's Gary.
And this is Pop Culture Minefield. And we're out of here. See you next time. Bye. Y'all come back.